Emmanuel, Allicious, McPherson, Sam. Mr. Sam just returned from his co-op at the Roel Wallenberg Institute in Sweden.
Provost Bean, Dean Paul, LLM Director Cassidy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, fellow graduates. Thank you all for being here on this auspicious occasion. To my fellow graduates, I want to say yes, we made it. Today is a day to reflect of the success after completing a task that was so challenging, especially for those of us who got our first law degree outside the US. What a sigh of relief. As you all know, such success is attributable not only to our own hard work, but to Northeastern's values and principles, its rich history of diversity, and the Northeastern Co-op. You all agree with me that choosing Northeastern was a great decision. But before saying much, I would like to tell you a story that has made me the person I am today. I am from Sierra Leone, a small country in West Africa. It's so rich in natural resources, but it remains one of the poorest countries in the world. The people there have traveled through a rough path with a lot of challenges, like the civil conflict, economic hardship, and the decimation caused by the Ebola virus. Growing up in Sierra Leone, I had a childhood circumscribed by chaos brought about by the decade civil conflict. I never understood what civil conflict was like until one bright morning when I was just 8 years old. I heard gunshots and the crackle of burning houses. I suddenly realized we were caught between life and death. The rebels had come to town. We had knocks on our door, ordering us to open up. And when we opened, the rebels entered our house and shot my brother. My uncle attempted to give him first aid. He was shot in the head. No one should cry, they told us. They even asked my mom and my older siblings to sing, dance, and hug one another as if in a jubilant mood. As an 8-year-old child, I saw the pain, the anguish, and above all, the fear in my mom's eyes. She wanted to cry for the death of her son and her brother, but if she did, she would be next. Trying to escape the fighting, my family and I were displaced countless times, ending up in refugee camps. We often face stark choices. Join the fighting forces or you lose your limbs. Become a rebel wife or you face torture. Although I lost my brother, who was a role model to me, and all our earthly possessions, I am grateful that I survived to tell this story. During the war, we lost hope. Everything was shut down in the country. No schools, no businesses, nowhere to run or hide. This was the darkest period of our country's history. All hopes were gone. Dreams were lost. The experience of the war, which ended in 2002, changed my life forever. But it did not kill my dreams, but rather, it transformed them to the desire to give voice to the voiceless. The experience left me with a desire to fight for women's rights, children's rights, and the empowerment of young people. Because I've come to realize that the marginalization of young people is one of the causes of the conflicts around the world. I became a founder member of the first children's organization in my country, the Children's Forum Network. The organization gave hope to us with the children whose psychological, physical pains were unimaginable. We advocated for ourselves, our rights. My transition to the US was not an easy one. Settling down in a country where I had not got my law degree became one of my greatest challenges. To me, a practical solution was for me to go back to school. I learned that Northeastern was named the best practical law school in the country, and one of the best human rights schools. I looked at the global makeup of the staff, alumni, student body, and faculty. I said to myself, this will prove invaluable for my career objectives. And Northeastern has delivered on all their promises. The learning environment is supportive, flexible, and relevant for us all. Fellow graduates, the world awaits us. And we can now use the skills and knowledge we've obtained from the privilege of studying at Northeastern with a sense of pride, motivation, and determination. The world needs us in the arena. There are injustices that need to be stopped, problems that need to be resolved. As for me, fighting for social justice will always be part of my journey. I want to create change in the lives of those voiceless women and the life of those war-ravaged children and the marginalized youth around the world. We should always persevere. There may be obstacles in our way, but perseverance is the way forward. My story is an example that perseverance leads to success. If I had not persevered, I wouldn't be here celebrating with you. Sometimes your dreams may be overly ambitious, but don't stop working towards them until you lay your hands on them. I made it here today because I never stopped working towards my dream. My mom and dad taught me not to fear change, but rather embrace it. Let's just believe that our future can be better than our present, and we have the power of making it that way. Finally, fellow graduates, as we transit into the world, don't forget that every successful individual's achievement depends on the community, on working together. We here at Northeastern have worked together. Let us take that mentality with us wherever we go. Our ambition must be broad enough to include the aspirations and needs of others. And to all those who touch our lives, we thank you. To our parents and guardians, to our professors who try to instill in us the passion for learning, to administrators who worked to make our experience amazing, to advisors who helped decide what path to take, and to friends who are with us for the pizza parties. We thank you. I thank you all for listening.